equity.
We are not done.
All new, Tuesday night at 7 on Arizona PBS.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
I've known the family for years. I never, ever dreamt it would end like this.
Across the globe, islands are home to some of the most remarkable animals and extraordinary cultures on the planet.
I'm Scott Yu. Come with me to uncover how a country boy became the most influential composer of all time.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station, sign in, and start streaming today.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
To understand this election, you must understand Pennsylvania.
No one did anything until President Trump.
With revealing conversations with voters.
I've seen a lot of nastiness.
Will the Keystone State predict again where this election is headed?
The working man is getting nothing.
I'm Robert Costa. Join us for a Washington Week special report.
Friday night at 7:30 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
The Persian Room. Travel to another world, to a land of exotic aromas and period decor for a fine dining experience. The Persian Room in North Scottsdale on Scottsdale Road, one light north of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Gourmet exotic cuisine at its best.
Whitfield Nursery, proud to support Arizona PBS, a Valley tradition since 1946. Over 200 acres of Arizona-grown trees, citrus, and palms. Complete custom design and installation. And Whitfield Nursery still does the digging. WhitfieldNursery.com.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores and Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
Voters in the state's largest counties can choose to retain or remove judges through a process that rates individual judicial performance and makes that information available to voters who can then make their decision come election time. We learn more from Aaron Nash, Communications Director for the Arizona Supreme Court. Aaron, good to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Arizona's judicial retention system. Give us a definition here.
Sure. This is a system in Arizona. We have two kinds of elections for judges. One is direct election. In counties with smaller populations, they directly go to the ballot, judges run for office, and then they get elected in competitive campaigns. The other part of the system is what's called merit selection. So these are people who apply to be a judge. They go through a commission and a vetting process, and then the short list of qualified candidates goes up to the governor for appointment. And then those judges show up on the ballot for the voters to decide in either 4 or 6 years, depending on the level of court, whether to keep those judges on the bench or not.
What information do voters get regarding these judges?
So this Commission on Judicial Performance Review puts together surveys. So they talk to witnesses, parties, attorneys, people who actually appear in front of those judges to get their input. And then the commission decides whether, based on those surveys, the judge meets judicial standards or doesn't.
Okay, and we're talking about what applying the law fairly, treating people with respect, these sorts of things?
Right. Part of it is legal ability, how well versed they are in the law. Part of it is the categories under integrity, communication, their judicial temperament, and administrative protocols. So how they treat people who are in front of them on the bench, how well they don't know the law, and how they perform administratively in their courtroom.
Basically, how well you manage a courtroom, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. How often do judges not meet the criteria?
It doesn't happen often. So it's a whether they meet the standards or not, and then the commission votes. So there's a number of votes on that. That appears in the publicity pamphlet on how the judges perform in those standards. Those screenings happen without the commission having the judge's name. So it kind of takes any personal biases out of it. It's just based on scores. They don't know the identities until after the meets or doesn't meet standards decision has been made.
Okay, and once these scores come through, I mean, does a judge have any recourse here? Let's say the judge doesn't agree. He thinks he manages the court, he or she thinks they manage a courtroom just fine. what can they do?
They can't influence the scores once they're made, but the judges do have a 3-person panel that works with them to go over those scores. So once their identity is connected to their scores, then they talk to this group and say, here's how the scores came out. And they talk about strengths, weaknesses, what could be done better, options they might have going forward.
But that information is still then transferred to the kind of information that voters can get in terms of retaining judges?
Yeah, the scores are available. They're through azjudges.info or through the publicity pamphlet that the Secretary of State sends out. That's been in the mail for a little while, and it's called the JPR. It might be spelled out, Judicial Performance Review. It's right near the front of that publicity pamphlet to see the overall scores, and then you can go to pages where it has specifically per judge.
Interesting. Okay, with that information out there, how often do voters say, I don't like this person, I want them out?
The Judicial Performance Review Commission has been around since 1992. So since then, only one judge has not been retained. That was in 2014.
And what was the situation there? Was it just egregious? Just happened to just a bad luck on his or her part?
Well, there were 2 judges, if I remember right, that year who had a does not meet standards rating that year. And again, those judges had a chance to meet with those conference team panels. One of the judges came out with a statement that said, this got my attention. I'm going to turn this around. This is really important to me. I want to do my best possible job as a judge. And she was retained. And then again, the other one was not.
Yeah, the other one, I remember covering this story back then because it was considered so unusual. If the voters decide they don't want to retain you because of the scores that you can't change, if you're a judge, how do you respond?
Judges do have the ability to do a campaign. So if there's an active vote no campaign, a judge can campaign against that and say things like this: Southern Arizona judge, here's what I'm going to do differently. Here's why I think those scores were wrong, or what I could do to improve on that. But really, it's the judges who are performing to the best of their ability all the time, so that when the survey comes out, it's reflective of their day-to-day operations.
Yeah, and if a judge is, obviously it only happened once here, but if a judge is voted off and is adios, can they return to the bench?
A judge could return to the bench after not being retained. In the merit selection system, they would have to apply with a lot of other applicants and get through the commission. And that would be, I would think, on the commissioner's minds that the voters chose not to retain this person before. So whether their name would get to the interview phase or up to the governor, it would be a steep uphill climb.
Yeah, that would be a rough thing on the resume there. Do other states use this I know that Arizona is pretty proud of the fact that our judicial retention system is as progressive as it is. Do other states use a similar system?
There are some states, a lot of states look at Arizona's system. Merit selection in Arizona has been in place since the 1970s, but the Judicial Performance Review, that's newer, again, from the 90s, where it was put into the Constitution that said these surveys have to be done. The voters have to have some kind of insight. Yes, other states do this. More states look at it and look to Arizona to see the quality of our bench. Who's applying, who's getting appointed, how is their legal reasoning once they're on the bench.
All right, very good. And again, if voters want this information, they go where?
Every registered voter household has a publicity pamphlet from the Secretary of State. It's in there, or they can go to azjudges.info.
All right, very good. Aaron Nash, Communications Director, Arizona State Supreme Court. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening. Coming up on Cronkite News, the economic impact if Prop 207 is approved and recreational marijuana is legalized. And on Break It Down, the evolving balance between work and life during the pandemic.
It's a big day in Washington as the Senate votes to confirm Amy Coney Barrett as a Supreme Court Justice. Find out what local lawmakers have to say about the timing of the decision.
Plus, Prop 207 on the ballot. Would legalizing recreational marijuana in Arizona help or hurt the economy?
And later this half hour, a look at how our work-life balance has changed during the coronavirus pandemic.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Harry Croton.
And I'm Dylan McKim. Thank you for joining us. It's been just over 5 weeks since the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and President Donald Trump is expected to swear in her replacement tonight. Cronkite News reporter Tina Giuliano brings us the story of the whirlwind Republican effort to put Judge Amy Coney Barrett in Ginsburg's seat.
Tonight's vote caps a rare weekend session of the Senate that continued overnight and into today. But the timing of this vote and its outcome was never in doubt.
The Senate is doing the right thing. We're moving this nomination forward.
Not everyone agrees it's the right thing. Democrats denounced the rush to seat Barrett just days before the election.
Every Republican in this chamber, led by the majority leader, 4 years ago refused to even consider the Supreme Court nomination of a Democratic president. My colleagues, there is no escaping this glaring hypocrisy.
Arizona Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema announced Friday that after meeting Judge Barrett, she was concerned with her, quote, inconsistent views on legal precedent, unquote. But Arizona Senator Martha McSally, a Republican, announced early that she would vote for Barrett's confirmation, calling the conservative judge a, quote, gift to America, unquote.
What I'm looking for in a judge and in a justice is someone who is not going to make laws from the bench, not going to make policy or interpret it based on their own personal views or agenda.
Seated, Barrett could have a hand in Supreme Court rulings on Obamacare and on the outcome of any challenges to this fall's elections, and that's just in the coming weeks. Progressives fear she will reverse abortion rights rulings in coming years. But in Tucson, Liberty Watch radio host Charles Heller said Barrett has been sharp and honest throughout the hearings.
I think what she'll do is she'll rule on the law the way it was meant to be. I mean, this isn't a partisan, the Supreme Court is, at least in theory, not a partisan contest.
The White House is confident in its outcome, planning a swearing-in ceremony tonight that could put Barrett on the court immediately. In Washington, Tina Giuliano, Cronkite News.
We still have 8 days to go until the election, but more than 58.6 million people have already voted. According to the U.S. Election Project, the total number of votes cast so far is around 43% of the total number of votes in 2016. Democrats are leading with the most early votes, but Republicans are slowly closing that gap. States such as Texas and Florida are piling millions of new votes on top of mail-in ballots in order to avoid crowds on November 3rd during the coronavirus crisis. Also, experts say 1 out of every 4 early voters is either new or infrequent, which is possibly a sign of a record-setting turnout.
With just a week to go before the presidential election, Cronkite News reporter Corinna Espinoza explains why Latinos may help decide who wins the race to the White House.
Alexis Rodriguez, a 20-year-old Latino, is excited to vote in his first presidential election.
In my household, there are 5 votes that are eligible to be casted in this election, and all early voting.
In his latest book, Michael Jones Correa, professor of political science at the University of Pennsylvania, explains why this election might see more Latinos voting.
All along through this period, you have very high levels of mobilization, and there's very high levels of immigrant mobilization too.
Rodriguez says he has been active through community service and political engagement.
I was specifically looking forward to seeing the issue of immigration being mentioned.
Yulisa Olvera from the organization Aquí Se Vota understands the importance of civic engagement in addressing issues that concern Latinos by promoting Latinos to vote.
Only 2 Latinos out of 10 Latinos were voting. Latinos are not voting, so we had to do something about it.
According to the Pew Research Center, for the first time, Latinos are expected to be the nation's largest racial or ethnic minority group participating in a U.S. presidential election. In Arizona, 24% of eligible voters are Latino. Nationally, their data shows a record of 32 million Latinos projected to be eligible to vote.
Professor James McCann of Purdue University, co-author of the book Holding Fast with Professor Jones Correa, mentions Latinos' views on political parties.
Latinos sort of tend a bit more towards, the voting patterns you see within, American society at large.
According to the Pew Research Center, nationally, 62% of Latino registered voters identify with the Democratic Party, while 34% identify with the Republican Party. For Democrat Arizona Representative Raquel Terán, healthcare is one of the most important topics for Latinos.
At the end of the day, we will also have to work with them to make these issues a reality, that we move these issues into policy.
For Republican Kenneth Smith, economy is the key.
Hispanic employment has never been higher. Black employment has never been higher. The economy has never been better except for the COVID.
Whether Republican or Democrat, Olvera believes that issues that matter to the Latino community will not change if they don't make their voices heard.
You're responsible of your future. Your vote counts.
Rodriguez agrees.
To just show to the nation and the world, that we're here and we're going to make our voices heard.
Karina Espinosa, Cronkite News.
Legalizing the recreational use of marijuana is one of the big election issues on the ballot in Arizona this time. So Taylor Tassler Oatley looked into what it could mean for our state's economy if the prop passes.
On Arizona's ballot this year, Proposition 207 will legalize the use of recreational marijuana. A similar proposition failed in 2016. If passed, Arizona would be the 13th state to legalize recreational marijuana use. Smoke Wallen is the CEO and chairman for Vertical Wellness. He supports Prop 207. He believes that if it passes, it will help the economy, especially after the pandemic, and points to Colorado as an example.
They've generated billions of dollars of revenue, tons of revenue for the state and for lots of local communities. And a lot of that has been earmarked for education and other programs.
Lisa James, chairwoman for Arizonans for Health and Public Safety, opposes the passing of Prop 207. She says it won't help. It will actually hurt the economy.
First of all, the expected revenue did not come in as they projected. Second, even in Colorado, there's a specific study that shows that they are spending $4.50 on marijuana-related expenses for every dollar of revenue that's coming in. That math just doesn't add up.
James adds that the legalization of recreational marijuana increases teen use because it becomes more accessible and socially acceptable. Wallen, however, says teens are already getting marijuana illegally and legalizing it won't make a difference. A study by JAMA Pediatrics agrees and found that in states where recreational marijuana was legalized, there was an 8% decrease in the likelihood of teens trying marijuana, along with a 9% decrease in the odds of frequent marijuana usage. Aside from legalizing recreational marijuana, Prop 207 would also allow individuals with convictions of marijuana possession, consumption, or transportation of 2.5 ounces or less to be expunged from their record. Raul Molina, co-founder and senior vice president of operations at the Mint Dispensary, says that this is a move in the right direction.
This is a baby step, and it's not even a baby step, it's a little bit better than a baby step, but it is a push in the right direction. I think that further decriminalization and a little more working on that side of the bill should be coming sometime soon.
Currently in Arizona, any marijuana charge is a felony, but the court can make the charge a misdemeanor if the judge determines the sentence would be too harsh. Taylor Tassler-Oatley, Cronkite News.
To find out where to vote this season, go to recorder.maricopa.gov/pollingplace.
This weekend, Trump supporters in the Valley came out in droves to show their support of the president. They held a car rally Saturday evening. The 30-mile stretch of cars could be seen on the 202 and Interstate 17. Supporters waved American flags, Trump flags, thin blue line flags, and signs, all backing the re-election of President Trump.
The president will return to the Valley at least one more time before the November 3rd election. Campaign officials say he'll be in Goodyear and Bullhead City on Wednesday for a Make America Great Again rally. Trump is set to speak at the Laughlin Bullhead International Airport at noon before heading to the Phoenix Goodyear Airport at 2:30 p.m. Doors open at 9 in Bullhead City and 11:30 in Goodyear. And the Biden campaign will also be making stops in Arizona this week. Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris will campaign for her running mate Joe Biden the same day as Trump. Harris is expected to make stops in Phoenix and Tucson Wednesday. That's it for Cronkite News Tonight.
Thank you for joining us. While we continue to work from home in our sweatpants, how has our work-life balance changed? We break it down next.
Hello, greetings. Hi, Robert. Are you ready to break it down?
You know, as an inside joke, I am ready to break it down.
I'm ready to break it down too. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about our schedules now with Zoom. I don't know about you, but I am busier than ever because of our new situation, the pandemic, all this. So I teach it, as you know, I teach at ASU, and when this whole thing started back in March, brought my computer home and started teaching meetings, everything, basically in my kitchen area. And, you know, it's just, I feel busier and there's just no time or no schedule. It's all the time constant. And I think this is, for a lot of people trying to experience this new sort of way of life, it's challenging. And I will say, first of all, I feel really blessed that I have a job that I can do this. I know that I'm fortunate, privileged, but it's crazy. So the other night, I'll just tell you really quick, I did this Zoom presentation for about 40 people on politics, and my dog is walking in, and then the cat starts walking in, and then my husband comes in the background, and at the same time, I know my kids are wanting me to make dinner, and it's just there's all this wackiness going on. And I don't know, I mean, I know you teach a course on positive psychology, and I wanted to talk to you about this. What do you think about this sort of new schedule that we all have now?
Well, it is a challenge, I think, and it's an unanticipated challenge, but I think it does bring to bear some important kinds of universal principles. And I'm thinking about a theorist named, his name's Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, his name's like this, and he advances a theory called of flow, and it's really in search of kind of optimal human functioning. When are we at our best? And he posits a model whereby you have certain skills that need to be applied to a certain task or a challenge. And when those skills really match up with the challenge at hand, people universally experience this optimal level of human functioning and so on and so forth. But what is required for those activities to induce that kind of optimal human functioning are boundaries. Boundaries are really, really important.
Yeah.
And, you know, I liken it to something like if you took a 3-year-old child with a closet full of clothes, she gets to dress herself for school that day, say. What's going to result if with infinite options is chaos, right? I mean, the child's going to be paralyzed with choices, you know? And so, you know, of course, boundaries, setting out 2 outfits, letting the child choose, it's actually really good for the mind. And so I think we're confronted with that in this kind of new Zoom reality of where are the boundaries? And without the boundaries, I think all aspects of life can actually feel a little dissatisfied. You know, our home life being not separate from, say, our work life and vice versa.
But I mean,
that really does present a unique challenge.
But there is some good stuff that coming. Apparently, we're working 3 hours more a day.
Is that good?
You know, you're saving time. You know, I have to say, you know, I save time not dressing up anymore. Sort of a Zoom uniform now. I just sort of wear. So that's good. Saving time is good. We have more time that we're working, I guess, is good. But I mean, in home life, so you say we need boundaries. What do you think, if I were to ask you what I should do for creating these boundaries so I don't feel so, you know, all the time I have stuff to do?
You know, it's a good question. I think taking advantage of maybe some alarm systems and saying, okay, time is up. Time to go outside without any digital anything, go for a walk, you know, and revisit, recharge. And, you know, in many ways, some of the lost elements, let's say the commute, you know, we know commuting is stressful. We know commuting is not fun. It tends to be better. There's good data on this. It tends to be better when you're carpooling. But also people can see the commute as really downtime, you know, to recharge for the workday or to recharge, you know, following the workday and listening to a podcast or news or something. So that's all kind of been jeopardized. But I think it just means that we have to make a little more concerted effort at establishing our own boundaries. You know, there's something to be said for going into an office and working.
Yeah.
You know, very clear boundaries, very clear relationships with those people, and that's kind of in many ways been compromised now as well. But, so to recreate that at home, it does present a unique challenge, but I think it does behoove us to do so.
Yeah. Well, it's really helpful because I just have so much more work to do now. And, but I think without those sort of boundaries, I feel like I'm doing a lot of stuff, but nothing's getting done. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that, you know, and that is not satisfying.
No, it's not.
So, you know, when everything blends together, then we're stuck with the child with a closet full of clothes and can't get anything really done or feels that way. And that may be where some of this extra work time is coming from. You know, when people are reporting, say, 3 hours extra work in the United States post-pandemic. Yeah. I'm wondering if that isn't, if that's a lack of efficiency because of some of these melding of boundaries. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and I find, so I'm on the computer, so I'm also playing a little bit more than I would, right? Because I have extra time, you know, so I'll be like, oh, let me just check out this news source here, or, you know, let me see what's on Facebook or something. So in some ways I'm wasting a lot more time because I know I have more time, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it sure does. And you know, and how many forces are out there competing for your attention right now? I mean,
that's true.
Ubiquitous. And so in many ways, I'm a fan of the fasting, the digital fast.
Yeah, well, that's impossible. I can't fast.
Our minds.
No, it's true. Okay, so what do you do? What's your schedule? How are you dealing with this?
Well, so for instance, you know, my students would be lucky to get an email from me after 5 o'clock.
Oh, smart.
I'm busy doing other things in the house, you know, and whether that's preparing a meal and dinner and so on and so forth. And I'm perfectly fine cutting that cord.
Yeah, you're good.
That would be one thing. The other thing is I'm absolutely going to prioritize some kind of exercise, some kind of aerobic activity, especially with other terms.
Yeah, you're a better person than me, Robert.
Well, you know, and that does give you an energy by which it helps with setting boundaries and getting work done efficiently, so that I can just cut the cord at 5 or 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not that I won't, and it's not that I'm militant, but it is a concerted effort. It's a conscious effort on my part to say, yeah, I've had enough of that computer. Don't you get computer fatigue? Like,
yes,
we can just stare at these screens all
day.
Yes,
I do. Yes, so. I do. Yes, I do. Wow.
And again, like you said earlier, it is a privilege. I mean, let's you know, to be gainfully employed in a pandemic and being able to work from home, etc. It really is.
Oh, I know. I mean, we're really privileged, and I feel really lucky. So, well, this is great conversation, my friend. Always great chatting with you, and I'm glad we got to break it down. And and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Robert. Thank you.
Well, same to you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
This hour of local news is made possible by contributions from the Friends of PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you. If you have comments about Arizona PBS News, please contact us at one of the addresses on your screen. Thank you. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Friendship Village Tempe, a retirement community for over 30 years, offers independent living with residency options, lifelong learning classes, as well as continuing care. Information at friendshipvillageaz.com.
Support comes from the Arizona Inn, offering 90 boutique rooms in the open-air historic resort, temperature-controlled pool, saunas, and tennis. Family-owned for 90 years, the historic Arizona Inn is located